very welcome surprise. Joining us now is the distinguished Florida Senator, Mr. Marco Rubio. Senator Rubio, thank you for coming on. Senator, we just had Jack Keane on, General Jack Keane on. And, you know, one of the things he said, and I've been saying this for 4 nights now, Joe Biden's speech let Iran off the hook. And there's no Iranian accountability. And this is in the context of hostages, but I think it's in the context of the entire war. And I wondered, you know, you're an influential foreign policy member of the Senate. How can we let Iran off the hook? How can we, I mean, they're the financier and they're the mastermind. Senator Rubio, you tell me.
Well, I think, unfortunately, it's a product of how both Iran in general, but also Hamas and groups like Hamas have been fooling the West, and particularly the United States and all of our so-called experts for 20 or 30 years. Look, let's start with Iran and continue to Hamas. These are groups that openly say they want the destruction of the Jewish state. In essence, if you ask the Iranians, they have the same goal as Hamas: drive every Jew out of the region and then set up a fundamentalist Islamic Palestinian state that reaches from the Mediterranean to the Jordan River. That's what they repeatedly say. That's what they were founded on. But we've got people over here saying, well, that's what they say, but that's not what they really want, and we can cut a deal with these guys, and we can work it out. And they play us, and they continue to play us. There is no Hamas. As we know it today, there is no Hamas without Iran. And whether Iran knew that they were going to go last Saturday or that they were going to use paragliders, all of that is irrelevant. What is true is that all the things they used to carry out this butchery, all of it would have been impossible. They would not have had it not been for support from Iran. And we need to start waking up and saying we can continue to project all the Western attributes we want on Iran, on Hamas, and on groups like that. But these guys are ideological psychopaths, and they're savages. And they would, if they could, not just kill every Jew they could get their hands on, they would kill Americans in the process as well. And in fact, they openly call for that. We should start believing these people on what they say.
Senator, as this thing goes on, Jack Keane was just saying this is not going to be a week. This is going to be months and months and months to try to clean Hamas out of the Gaza Strip. Is the administration going to get cold feet? I'm sure the liberal media, they already got cold feet. The question is, will the Biden administration get cold feet? I don't think they're I mean, here, step back a second, Senator Rubio. Do you think the administration is talking to Iran right now? And do you think they're still trying to cut a deal with Iran right now on this nuclear business?
There's no doubt they are. I mean, they've got people that do that. It's a separate office and organization, including a guy that was running it that was now, we increasing signs, was an asset for Iranian propaganda and was actually sharing information with them. I think we'll learn more as that investigation unfolds, the guy they put in charge of all this. But if you want to step back for a moment and realize, yeah, look, I hope they're messaging Iran, and I hope they're telling Iran if any Americans are attacked in the region by Iran or one of your proxies, we're going to consider it an attack by Iran against the United States, and we're going to retaliate against Iran. I hope that's the message that they're putting out there. But I think that the fundamental question is the one you asked. What's the strategy these guys have always used? They attack Israel. They kill a bunch of Israelis. And then they retreat and go into hiding in their system of tunnels, you know, behind the human shields in Gaza. And then Israel responds. And then they go to the cameras. They go to the New York Times. They go to the global press. They go to Western elites and they say, look what the Israelis are doing. And then everyone puts pressure on Israel to stop. We saw that play out in 2021, by the way. This time has to be different. This level of savagery has no precedent. It was the single deadliest day for Jews in the world since the Holocaust ended. Okay, and we continued as you know, I think the administration warned today we're going to have even more imagery and more stories of the savagery, and it's going to trouble all of us. These people have to be put out of business. If they are not put out of business, they will emerge from this stronger. They don't care how many civilians die. They don't care how many buildings collapse. They will emerge from this stronger, and they will be viewed as heroes, and they will do this again, but they will kill many more people if they are allowed to survive this. It will not be easy. It will be painful. Going on the ground, facing an insurgency, all these sorts of things that they're willing to do, it's going to be tough. But I don't know what other option Israel has. And in my view, there's only 2 sides to this. You're either on Hamas's side or you're on Israel's side. And I know which side I think America needs to be on until the job is done.
No, amen to that. Amen to that, Senator. Look at how fast can we get some defense supplemental appropriations over to Israel?
Well, there's good news on that front, and that is that Israel's defense situation with the United States is in statute. We actually passed it. It was my law, bipartisan law, in 2021, and so they are guaranteed every year $3 point something billion every year between now and 2028. So that's already in place. We're not starting from zero here. I think what will happen at some point as this unfolds is Israel may have some specific munition needs that they need resupply, and I think they'll have ample support in the Congress to do it. But what's important to understand is the administration, and they've said this earlier in the week, they already have existing codified authorities in our law to transfer things to the biggest thing we could be doing for Israel right now is the equipment they've already paid for and stuff they're waiting for, try to expedite it, try to get the contractors to deliver it now instead of next March or whatever. I think that, but there's a lot of that, but that doesn't mean they won't need more in the future. But that just means as of right now, we know that they've got things in the pipeline. We're not starting from zero the way we did, for example, with Ukraine.
Your bill, you had a bill on that?
Yeah, it's part of the Defense Act that passed. It codified that arrangement, and the purpose was so that if Israel found themselves in a conflict, they wouldn't have to come to Congress begging for $3 billion. It's already built in, and it's every year.
Right, just for this emergency. Anyway, Senator Marco Rubio, thank you, sir. Thank you for coming back on the show. We appreciate it very much.